Hi, welcome to the EEVblog, an electronics engineering video blog of interest to anyone involved in electronics design. I'm your host, Dave Jones. Alright, I'll keep the audio how it is. Sorry about the camera, it's sort of up there. I've got the webcam mounted onto my main camera on the tripod, so that when I upload it, I should be looking, well, it'll be the same camera view as the thing, so as the main camera. So there's the main camera, woohoo! So all I do is actually clip it onto the LCD monitor. So that's the plan anyway. Yeah, sorry about the delay. I had a few problems. It wouldn't let me use the external webcam. I had to reboot a couple of times and it's crazy. Absolutely nuts. So thanks for turning up, everyone. Laptop with a water cup. Yep, not a problem. I've got my sippy bottle. So yeah, I could try and lower my tripod a bit, but I don't think it's going to work too well. So yeah, we'll just have to go with what we've got here. I should mount the camera on a box just at the height of the thing. I don't know, or maybe I should get my little flexi tripod and just put it on the top of the monitor here, but then I'd be too close because they got different camera angles, the main vlog camera and the external webcam. The external webcam is much wider. So, hi Ghent from Belgium. Hopefully everyone got the time right this time, because it is daylight saving here in Sydney now. So, hey Melbourne, Avi. Do I stream over Adobe Live Encoder? No, I'm still using the pop-up Ustream window, the Flash window or whatever, because I couldn't get the Ustream producer software working. Oh geez, the questions have started. How do I organize my parts? I've gone through a video on that. I organize all my parts in storage bins. Ta-da! There they are up there, all these storage tubs. So all these storage tubs have, you know, they've got that's a resistor one, I think. Yes, it is a resistor one. So that's got all the individual packets I've collected from Farnells and DigiKey and stuff over the years, and that's how I organise my components. It's not very organised at all. They're just thrown into separate boxes. I've got one for resistors, one for capacitors, one for semiconductors, one for ICs, and stuff like that. So one for old tubes of stuff. So that's how I sort out my components. I don't sort them out very well, and I've still got all my old storage cabinets up here. I've got a few along here. I've got two here. I've got four along there, and I've got an extra 2 of these parts drawers here. And most of those I've had since I was a kid. So I've had them for 30 years or something like that. Some of them, they're really old. The video's laggy as hell. Oh shit, sorry guys. Can everyone give me a thumb? Who's getting good video? Is anyone getting good video at all? No, video is good. Yes, yeah, people are getting good video. Well, for those who aren't, I can turn the video quality down a bit. There we go. How's that? Is that quicker? No, keep the quality up. Oh, that's the thing I didn't do. I didn't hit record on the Ustream channel. I might as well record it on Ustream just for the hell of it. Here we go, start. There we go. Now Ustream is recording on the server. Yeah, that quality looks shit. I'm going to turn that up. There we go. It's a bit better. Full reception. Excellent. Alright, sorry, those are laggy. It's not everyone gets the same video. It's not at my end. I can assure you I've got a really super fast connection here, so it all has to do with Ustream. Hopefully, YouTube. Hopefully I can switch to YouTube for their live. They're going to introduce a live show, well, a live streaming thing, and they're working on that at the moment. It's in the beta. I saw it at the Ustream partner conference the other day. I was invited to that because I'm a Ustream partner. I'm a YouTube partner, and they're going to introduce this YouTube live thing eventually. I think they've trialed it on a couple of football matches or something like that. Everyone's heard about it, but yeah, I think it's going to look really good. So hopefully it'll blow Ustream out of the water. Am I an Intel man or an AMD man? Intel. I had a AMD fetish back in the early 90s or something when AMD was all the rage and they were actually faster and etc, etc. And yeah, I don't care about processors anymore. PCs. I used to follow it a lot, but now I just don't give a toss, really. Couldn't care less. My notebook here has got an Intel Core i3 in it. You know, I have no idea. It's kind of sort of the latest, or the i5 or i7 or something. How many people we got, by the way? I'm not using IRC today. I couldn't be bothered. I was behind time as it was. Hopefully I'm recording the chat window inside. So I hope that works on the other computer. How many we got? 59. Awesome. Thanks everyone for turning up. 60. I was on the Adafruit live blog yesterday and she had like 200 or something. So did you manage to hide the join parts? What are the join parts? Sorry, about the microcalc. Somebody's asked about the microcalc. If you haven't seen it yet, I uploaded last night a new blog that describes my microcalc project. Again, because somebody asked on the forums, I sat down and did a 20-minute rant on that. I haven't even watched it back yet. I don't know if it's comprehensible or not. I was a bit tired. I was waffling on, and anyway, that's up as of this morning. I haven't put it up on the main blog site yet. It's just up on YouTube. Is the cutout PCB also the battery holder, aka are the friction fit batteries able to slide out the side? Yes, they are. That's what I explained in the video last night. So hence the question. Yes, the batteries just slide in to the side and they're wedged. They're held in place by the friction of the two PCBs. So that's the whole concept behind that. So you don't need a battery holder. You just wedge them between the PCBs, because the CR2032 batteries are exactly the same thickness as the regular PCBs. So a 2016 battery is 1.6 millimeters thick, the same as a PCB core. So you can use a central PCB core and wedge the batteries in there. Or you can use a 2.5 or a 3.2 or 2 millimeters or anything. So yeah, that works out really well. Have I done any audio interface design? Any advice about it? What sort of audio interface? I come from the seismic industry, which is pretty much audio. It's slightly lower bandwidth than audio. So yeah, I've done a fair bit of work on not audio as such, but low bandwidth analog, really high performance, world class high performance stuff. Analog to, Delta Sigma analog to digital converters and stuff like that. So what's your specific question? It's pretty general. Am I worried about the sides of the batteries hitting shorting components? No, because the inner core material, let's see if I can draw it. This is going to suck big time. That was from my blog last night. Ah. You really can't rub this stuff off the whiteboard really quickly. It's just, I mean, if you leave it on overnight, it just completely screws itself. So, 3D drawing. Okay, I'm going to suck at this. Hang on, I'll show you in a sec. Alright, this is kind of sorta now let's see if I can explain this. Okay, this is the microcalc. Okay, the question's about the microcalc. It uses three different boards. It uses the front panel with all the circuitry on it. It uses a back panel. So if this is your front panel, if this is your front panel up here and this is your back panel down the bottom here, then the inner board actually cuts out, you do cutouts for all of your components. So these are the coin cell batteries here and here, and they slot and they slide into there. And when you wedge all the boards together and you actually glue them, then if this inner core here, if the thickness of this core is the same as your battery, then the battery just slides in there and you have a contact on the top and you have a contact on the bottom of the board, and bingo, the batteries just slide in. They're held in place because they're the same thickness. They're just held in place with the friction, and that's pretty much it. So does that answer your question? I hope. Oh no, the webcam. I've gone through that whole issue with my webcam. Yeah, my camera does have an AV output, but it's not usable. You got to put it in the dock, and it doesn't work at the same time. And if you put it in webcam mode, the wide angle goes to shit. And so no, to somebody who asked Solar who asked if I can record with the same camera. No, so I've got to record with the two cameras up there. Hello. And yeah, well, I'm not recording with two. I'm recording with my main blog camera, and I've got the webcam camera as well. So, woo. And the audio should be okay on the recorded version because I'm using my shotgun mic up the top. Actually, I hope I turned it on. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Yeah, green light's on. It's all good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been recording the audio. So, and the audio for the stream is just coming through the built-in. There it is. Built-in mic in the crappy built-in mic inside the notebook. And by the way, if you want to ask questions, put a Q and a colon in front of your questions, because then it shows up big here on a Q, because I don't read all the comments here. I don't go through them. I've got a short attention span. Sorry. I don't read every single line of comment. What temperature do I recommend for... Well, it scrolled off the screen. What temperature for soldering? Was it lead? I typically use about 350. 350 will be pretty much my standard temperature. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Sorry, 350 in Fahrenheit is about 650, something like that. A standard tip, like a fixed temperature Weller, might be 700. 700 degrees Fahrenheit's about 370 degrees Celsius or something. So, someone has a question on AT Mega 328. as a 324 as a placement, slightly higher, more I/O. Do you have any other suggestions? Oh, not off the top of my head. I don't remember the exact comparisons between all the Atmel chips. Use the selector on the Atmel website and you'll be able to compare the different chips. Yeah, Atmel are having stock problems at the moment. Apparently it's a pain in the ass. So, which is silly because I'm putting a couple of Atmel chips on some of my new designs. So yeah, fingers crossed and hope bloody Atmel come through on that. Would I consider studying informatics or electrotechnics? I have no idea what either of those two are. I could guess. It's always going to be country specific and university specific, or you know, I guess informatics is information theory. Is that what it is? Electrotechnics? What the hell is electrotechnics? I got no idea. Sorry. Informatics sounds a bit boring. I'd go with electrotechnics. It sounds a lot better. Nice t-shirt. Yeah, this is my, this isn't part of my blog one. This is my Adam Savage t-shirt. Where would I sell a dev board? Somebody asks. House asks that. Yeah, eBay, of course. I sell everything on eBay. I don't necessarily like eBay. There's lots of things wrong about it. Over the years I've been pissed off with it, but it's the only place to sell. So, yeah. Topher asks, why does Element 14 keep sending me crap I didn't order? What sort of stuff do they send you? Is it good stuff? Is it test gear? Is it really useful stuff, or is it just shit? That's a good problem, isn't it? Unless they didn't send you parts that you're, as long as they send you the parts that you actually ordered. I haven't had any misplaced parts from Element 14/Farnells yet, but I've heard a few people have recently. Woo! Questions, questions, questions. Everyone's got questions. God. Have I done any comparisons on lower cost scopes and logic probes? No, I haven't. I'm sorry because I don't have, the only scope I've got here is the only low cost scope I've actually used here in the lab is the Rigol, which I bought myself. The others I tried to get another brand and the manufacturer wouldn't let me. So I'd have to, if I wanted it, I'd have to buy it. So, yeah, but hopefully, no, I'm not allowed to say anything, but yeah, there might be there might be another oscilloscope, low-cost oscilloscope review coming up, but I can't say any more. That's hush hush. Okay. His question was, does he mean computer science or EE, basically? Which one to study? Well, study EE. There's too many people doing computer science these days. Everyone does computer science. You're a dime a dozen. EEs are, I think, more versatile. EEs are able to do most of the computer science stuff. But I don't know. You could argue there's more money in computer science. I wouldn't even argue that. Definitely go for EE. It's harder, but I think your job prospects are more versatile. So don't go for computer science. Everyone does that. What is my t-shirt? I reject your reality and substitute my own. Yes. There you go. That's a t-shirt. It's a quote from Adam Savage. If you don't know who Adam Savage is, leave now. Go Google it. Woo! This is going to turn into an hour of questions. God, it's like half an hour gone already almost, although I started late. So what did I start, 5 or 10 minutes late? What tool chains do I use? I use the microchip toolchain, and I use the Atmel AVR toolchain with the GCC AVR in it, and the Win AVR thing. They're for microcontrollers. For some ARM stuff, I use Altium Designer. What's my eBay account? It's secret. It's not hard to find, but I'm not going to tell you. I'll let those go out and explore if they want to find my eBay account. I haven't sold anything on eBay for ages. I used to sell tons of stuff, but now I've got the blog. I've just hoarded stuff. Hoarded 20 multimeters, and yeah, I'm not buying and selling stuff on eBay like I used to. I used to buy and sell a lot of stuff on eBay before the blog. So now I just, I find I'm fulfilling my my sort of multimeter fetish with the blog, because I'm getting all these multimeters, so I don't need to buy and sell them anymore for fun. So how much of what I do for a job is FPGA? I'm just what you would call a kiddie who wants to get into EE, but the concept of dealing with FPGAs all day doesn't hold a ton of appeal to me. Yes, my day job is pretty much FPGAs, but from the hardware side of things, because I work at a company that deals almost, mostly on the hardware side with FPGAs. So don't take that as a normal industry thing. It's just because of the company I work at. That yes, I work on a lot of FPGA stuff, doing FPGA development boards and things. So so I'm sort of not the best person to ask there when it comes to that sort of thing. But I know the answers though. The concept of dealing with FPGAs doesn't hold a ton of appeal to you. Well, that's good, because FPGAs can be, the tool chains are very complex, and yeah, learning HDL is different to learning a high definition language is different to learning a embedded sequential language like C or BASIC or something like that. It's an entirely different concept. I suck at HDL. I don't, I've dabbled in it, but I'm pretty much stick to the hardware side, because I don't like HDL at all, really. Only because I'm not overly familiar with it. I've dabbled, but yeah, I generally try and avoid using FPGAs in projects. I like hard processors, but it depends on the project. Some projects are much better suited to FPGAs, and FPGA is the best solution, and you should use it. Sometimes it's the only solution. So, yeah, you're probably, if you go in the industry, you're probably eventually, if you're going to be a general design engineer at some company, you're probably going to eventually have to use FPGAs somewhere. I would suspect the odds are quite high. But I don't know, it depends entirely on the company. I know companies that wouldn't even think of using FPGAs because they're just not a suitable match. So there's probably millions of companies out there like that. But overall, you'll probably come across FPGAs, so they're worth learning. That's for sure. Whew. Did I hear about the history-changing documents that were released on WikiLeaks? Hang on. What? No, I didn't. What documents were released? Tell me, are these more US military documents? Whoa. Oh, there's so many questions. I'm like 3 pages behind. Some 600,000 diplomatic messages. No, I haven't seen it. I'll check it out today. Thanks. I love all those documents released on there. It's just brilliant. Hats off to WikiLeaks. Really. I love WikiLeaks. Have I considered... Hang on, I've got to get through the questions quick. There's so many of them. 3 pages behind. Have I considered testing the $15 meter that Adafruit sells? No, I won't test a $15 multimeter, because they're a heap of shit. They're $15. I've explained that before. No. Get at least the $50 one Adafruit's selling. It won my $50 shootout. That's not a bad meter. Get that. if you want to go buy a $15 multimeter, go ahead. It'll measure volts and ohms and amps, and be happy with your $15 meter. I just don't recommend them. Suggestions for books regarding designs with ADCs. No, sorry, I don't. People keep asking me for book suggestions, and sorry, I don't have any, because I generally don't have many books on my bookshelf anymore. And as far as textbooks go, I haven't read most textbooks for 15, 20 years. So, sorry. Any idea why Microchip haven't released some of their compilers for Linux? Given that some of them are based on GCC. No idea. Sorry. Haven't got a clue. It'd be nice for those who use Penguin. Any advice on sabotaging annoying Christmas lights? Yes, easy. Annoying Christmas lights. Go to one of those costume shops, buy a ninja outfit, and sneak down the side of the house and just switch off the main supply. Easy. Speaking of Adam Savage, he's mentioned a TSA encounter. Yeah, I saw that last night. For some reason, I was searching for TSA after I did that TSA rant, which pissed off a lot of people. They always fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. It's great. I love it. Yeah, 12-inch razor blades. If you haven't seen it, Adam Savage, who this t-shirt's a quote of, he accidentally bought through customs in the US at the airport 12-inch razor blades. He forgot he had them in there in his laptop bag, and he just put them through, and they bypassed. TSA security didn't catch these 12-inch razor blades. It was hilarious. Oh dear. Have I got a date that the microcurrent will be in stock? They're being assembled now. I've sent the parts away. My assembler said he's working on them ASAP. So I get usually maybe at least another week it'll take to assemble the units. Probably maybe even 2 weeks, and then I'll have them back in stock and I'll be able to sell them. Do I intend to sell the microcalc? I originally did. That was the intention when I designed it over a year ago now. If you looked at the date on it, what's the date on this original PCB? Here we go, the 18th of December 09. There you go. So it's just over a year ago. So yeah, it's just one of those projects I started with great enthusiasm, and then I went on to something else, and I never finished it. So maybe eventually I might, if I get the enthusiasm to finish it off and sell it. So it was actually designed for low cost, so it was designed for production. A lot of thought went into choosing the right low cost parts, because I was going to use one of the Atmel touch chips. Atmel have got a really nice range of touch sensitive chips for the keypad, and I was going to use them, but they're pretty expensive. They're, $4 or $5 each or something. So I settled for the microchip PIC microcontroller, which had it built in, and the micro is only $4. So I get the micro and the touch sensitive controller all built into the one. How about a video on designing PCBs for automated production testing? Yeah, people keep asking about PCB tutorials. I was going to avoid them because of a potential conflict of interest, but no, as you can see, I've started doing PCB stuff on the blog, so hopefully more to come. Yeah, I could do a blog every week for the next 6 months. It's a great filler material I can use to actually fill time. If I haven't got a good idea for the week, I'll just, or if I'm bored, I'll just do a PCB tutorial maybe. Will I start doing my thing with Jerry Ellsworth? That's a loaded question. Yeah, there's been talk about Jerry possibly doing something with the amp hour, and we've talked about the blog before, but I don't know. It's just a matter of time zones and, teeing up something and thinking of something to do. Yeah, but eventually I'm sure I'll eventually do something with Jerry Ellsworth. I don't know what thing you're alluding to though. Where can I buy the t-shirt? eBay. Just go to eBay and type in the slogan. And this is I bought this on eBay, so oof, now I'm still 3 pages behind. What do I think of Ultimate PCB? I'm thinking of getting my board done there. I haven't heard of Ultimate PCB, sorry. Do I have a fixed date for the next amp hour release? It's usually recorded on the Tuesday morning, so tomorrow morning is scheduled, tomorrow morning Sydney time, and then it's up to how long it takes Chris to do the edits, because he's the one who edits the thing and uploads it and does most of the stuff on the blog site. So it takes him 4 hours or something to get it up there, edit and actually upload it. So yeah, Tuesday is the typical day we do it on. So we usually try and stick to that, unless something comes up, and then it gets, you know, often it's Wednesday or Thursday, but we do try for Tuesday. What is the most complex project on which I have worked? That's a good question. It's in one of my blogs, I think. Well, part of it is a 10,000 channel seismic data acquisition system, real time. So there's 10,000. I've explained on a live show once, I think, 10,000 simultaneously sampled real-time channels over a 10-kilometer length. So it used E1 serial protocol over ATM fiber optic protocol. So yeah, so it was real-time 24-bit ADCs, the world's highest performance ADCs. As far as noise floor and all that goes, recording real-time across 10,000 channels spread across 10 kilometers of thing which is towed behind a boat for seismic oil surveying. And yeah, that was that was a pretty complex project to get working in terms of power optimization, because these things were powered from the boat, and you've got to power them 10 kilometers long, and the nodes are every 50 meters or something, 50 or every 100 meters, and it was 500 volts at one end, and they got to 70 volts down the other end, and each module had to be X power consumption because it added up, and you had to weigh up. There was lots of mechanical stuff. You had to weigh up the power consumption. I don't have one here actually. No, I thought I did. Anyway, the power consumption was critical, because if you got an extra 5 milliwatts or something on each channel, then that added up to X amount more copper you needed in the wires through 10 kilometers to power all of those channels. And the more copper, the more weight, and then the more buoyancy material around it, because these things floated just below the surface. They had to be buoyant, so there's little wings on them that actually set the depth of these cables under the water, and so they had to be buoyant. So you were very limited in how much copper you could actually use. So that all, and I had to model all the power consumption across the length and all sorts of things. It was really a big complex project. Anyway, and it was fun. It was a nightmare sometimes. Yeah, some complex projects can be a nightmare. There are lots of other stuff that went into it as well. But that's, I guess, my most complex project I've worked on. Oh no, there's other military projects as well, sonar systems and stuff, which are quite complex. That took years of development. I spent years developing underwater sonar stuff. So, whew. Sorry, I'm falling behind. Oh man, it's just going to be, there's questions, thousands of them. I tend to exaggerate. There's like a dozen. What is the secret project I mentioned on the amp hour? It's just a little project. It looks very similar to my microcurrent. It's in the same box with the same red PCB, and I've given enough clues before. It'll eventually come out, I hope. Once again, it's just a matter of finding time to finish it off. I've got a prototype. You'll find out once it's ready. It's not that exciting. It's just cute. I just wanted one, so I designed it. What conflict of interest with my job? You've got to know where I work, which is why I've always said I try and avoid FPGAs and PCBs stuff. So, you know, everyone wants me to talk about Eagle and stuff like, I can do an Eagle tutorial. No, I can't. I won't directly say who I work for, but everyone knows. Something interesting new to take apart. Yes, I've got the new Gossin. Oh. Ta-da! The new Gossin Metra Hit Energy multimeter. Very cool. I love it. It's an awesome meter. And yeah, but you know, I've opened heaps of Gossins before, so it's not. It's typical. There's a bodgy resistor in there though. Maybe I'll take that apart towards the end of the show. I've got to get through these questions. Jeez. What's the strangest design requirement I've ever had? Oh, that's a weird. That's a hard question. Strangest design requirement. Not so much a design requirement, but some of the requirements like shock mounting a quartz oscillator, stuff like that. That can lead to very unusual design testing. I've been meaning to do a blog on this for ages, but there's a story of where I used women's feminine hygiene products. I tested the vibration and shock response of feminine hygiene products, believe it or not, as a material to use for shock absorbing these crystal oscillators, as well as a whole bunch of other material, cotton wool and foam and sorbethane and all sorts of other stuff. So that's pretty unusual to measure the shock and performance shock and vibration response of feminine hygiene products. Anyway, that's bizarre. I'll probably do a blog on that one day. Take something apart, I promise. Yeah, okay. What PCB fab do I use? PCB cart in China for most of my personal stuff. PCB cart, yeah, someone's already put it. Thank you. What about the electrical car of your friend? Sorry, haven't. Yeah, might have to get in contact and see if she wants to give us an overview of it. I've got the SunSwift solar car as well. Those guys contacted me just this week. I haven't replied yet, but maybe in the next couple of weeks, hopefully before Christmas, I might be able to shoot over and do a blog on the SunSwift solar car, which is a world-renowned solar-powered car. So it's won many races and God knows what. So. Do you know you mentioned the $9 fee that the US... do I know what effect that $9 charge will have on USA ordering from the China? No, I don't. If you know, let me know, because I think at the moment it's only an Australia Post surcharge. So I don't know what impact it has in the US. But if anyone wants to update me on that, please, because I'm probably going to do another rant on that if Australia Post don't get back to me and explain it properly. The bastards. Any update on my power supply design you mentioned a long time ago? That's what I was talking about before. Power supply design. Oh, last question. Hey, I finally got back down here. Have you taken a look at the new Arduino Uno? If so, what do you think of it in comparison to the old one? It's almost identical. All they've changed is the logo. They've got their new wanky logo on there, which looks pretty good. And the name, I love the name, Uno. And they've changed the USB interface chip to another Atmel that can be used as a USB actual device. So like a mouse or something like that, you can use it to control things. So yeah, it's good. I think they've, I think it's a good update because it's a bit more useful. Rant. Oh God, all I've had is questions. I haven't had time to tell anything. Not that there's anything to tell. I don't know. If you got any questions about the blog, I don't know, the future of the blog, anything like that, ask away. No, I'm not done with questions. Keep firing away. It'll just be an hour of questions and answers. That's what this live blog usually is, because I don't have time to do design tutorials and stuff like that live. They just take too long. Am I ever going to talk about bench multimeters? People keep asking. Probably not. I don't bench multimeters don't interest me really. So I wouldn't say they're a waste of space, but I just don't use them. I've got a HP bench meter here, but it's not even turned on. It's not even plugged in. So that's how little I use it. So some people like bench multimeters, but no, sorry, they don't interest me, so I'm not going to talk about them. Whew. In my personal lab, do I do more tinkering, or do you always have a project you are working on? I'm usually just tinkering. I believe people think like I sit out here 24/7. I don't. The lab's mostly used for the blog these days because, you know, if I'm soldering stuff, a lot of the time I'll take something to work and I'll use, because they've got better like microscopes and stuff there. So if I need to solder a board, I might do that at work, you know, at lunchtime or something like that. And but yeah, I just don't have a lot of time to play in the lab. The wife doesn't let me. So I've always got a project I'm working on. I've probably got 4 active projects at the moment, so that's why I never get anything finished. Because I start with a lot of enthusiasm, whoa, I'll do this project, and then, you know, I get sidetracked and I do something else, so it's a bit annoying. But annoying to you guys because I don't get projects out there and I'm not allowed to talk about them. I don't like talking about projects until I've finished and got something to actually show. The micro-calc I didn't talk about it for a while, but now it's over a year old. I just decided to talk about it because I might never finish it. So, yeah. What is... there you go. Somebody asked, what is the future of the blog? And the answer is, I don't know. But the money is starting to become very good. So, I can probably... It's almost certain at this... Well, it's more likely than not that it will become my full-time job, which is awesome. So, hopefully, so please keep supporting my sponsors, my website sponsors, because they pay the bills. And yeah, the blog is looking pretty rosy. And I'm not going to give it up anytime soon, because if it can potentially become my full-time job, if I can do a 1-hour video each week, and that's enough money to live on, then yeah. In fact, it is enough money to live on at the moment. But the wife doesn't think so. So there's the catch. Yes, the wife doesn't think it's enough money, so I've got to keep my 9-to-5 job for the foreseeable future. But yeah, it's looking good. The future of the blog. Yes, you can view this in an IRC channel. You don't have to use the Ustream thing. There's IRC. You can. I don't know the details offhand, but you can do that. I'm sure somebody will tell you. There you go. Somebody's put up the Headphones or speakers? For what? I use headphones for everything, especially for editing the blog, because headphones have got such dynamic range in them. You can, and they take out they attenuate the external noise, and I can't edit my videos without headphones. Headphones are, you can hear noise, background, any little subtle noise, so headphones are much better than speakers. Especially when you're video editing a blog, let me tell you. Speakers, good headphones are essential. Not just the shitty little ones, but the big cushion ones. So, what do I think about the Connect hack? I think it's very cool. I think it was a brilliant marketing ploy by Adafruit. Thumbs up to them. It just, it was an absolute winner. I wish I'd thought of it, but I didn't. I didn't even know this Microsoft Connect was coming. Not that I care about, I couldn't offer a couple of $1,000 prize. I probably could have, but yeah, Adafruit a better place to do that, and they did. So I think it's really cool. But there's so many more people who are really good at that sort of stuff than me, so I'm not even going to bother touching it, really. What do I have on the table behind me right now, and what am I working on? Well, I'm working on my project. I've got the multimeter here. There's some old, there's some prototype stuff from my Mark II micro watch. There's some LCDs. There you go. There's one of the LCDs there, and there's another LCD there, which was used for prototyping the Mark II micro watch, which is another project I bring out occasionally and try and do something on. Apart from that, no, there's nothing else behind me here, because it's all usually in boxes. What I do is I usually devote a whole box to my latest project, or the project I'm working on. So I might have 3 or 4 different boxes at the moment, and it's got all the parts. It's got the schematics. There you go. It's got, and it's got the boards in there and the stuff I'm working on, and all the parts, all the individual parts I've ordered from DigiKey and Mouser and whatnot. So yeah, everything goes in. I have a separate project box for each project. How is the Renesas design contest going? Fine. I haven't heard from them in a while, so I assume there'll be more work on that later, but I haven't done anything on it at the moment. So, how often do I do agile development? What's agile development? Is agile a does it mean fast development? Rapid development? Is that what you mean? Or is agile a word, is agile a product or something? No. No, not going to answer my agile question. Okay. Oh, Agilent. No? Who asked that question? Adam, get back to me. No. Agile development. Oh, it's a wank word. Pretty much means cutting the change request process short. Right. Yeah, rapid development, fast development. Oh, I've lost count of the number of projects I've worked on that use tiger teams, and which was a big buzzword in the 90s, and rapid development projects. Oh, God. Yeah, I've worked on a lot of them, and it's just, wank word of the week, agile development. Yeah. I haven't heard it called agile development, or always called rapid development, or fast tracking, fast track. I've worked on a bunch of projects which have been renamed the Fast Track Project, so, yeah, stupid. I tweeted that I had an Android phone. Have I got one? Not yet. I might order one today. I'm probably going to get the HTC Desire, is it? Not the new HD, because I think that's too big. So the older HTC HTC Desire. I think I'll get that over the Samsung Galaxy S, I think. So I'm probably going to order it today. I meant to order it last week, so I should have had it by now, but How did I meet my wife? I met my wife on the internet. Go to artofinternetdating.com. I've written a book on it. Oh dear. What kind of Christmas lighting will I do? Anything self-built? No, I haven't got the time. And I wouldn't I just haven't got the time. I'd buy something off the shelf if I was going to do it. I'd like to, but nah. No, you've got to spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and, well, yeah, and somebody down the road's going to outdo you anyway. So, I don't know. I haven't got enough time for anything. That's why I never finish projects off. Jeez. I'm also working on an Arduino project as well. So, there's some gossip. Everyone can gossip about that. What sort of Arduino project I'm working on. It's a new Arduino board. And, anyway, that's another one in the pipeline that may or may not eventuate out the end of the pipeline. Will I participate in the Renaissance contest or just a judge? I'm just a judge, I believe, but the requirements keep changing all the time about how it's all going to work and stuff like that, so... Do I consider the environmental impact of shipping when buying stuff online? China has got cheap stuff, but what will the impact of flying it to Europe? Good question. Sometimes I consider it, yeah, but a lot of the time, if I try and buy local if I can, if it's not too much more, I don't mind paying a bit more for buying local, but if it's like 3 times the cost of China, oh, you know, I'm probably going to order it from China. So, yeah, I prefer to buy local. I try and buy local if I can. Yeah, international transport is still only like a very small percentage of local ground transport in terms of environmental impacts and stuff. So it's not that, I'm not going to say it's not that bad, but it's not as bad as all the stuff which, you know, hauls your food to the local supermarket and stuff like that, apparently. So, yeah. Do I know that Farnell Element 14 charge $5 for shipping now? No, I didn't know that. Is that here in... No, as far as I know, it's still free in Australia. So, maybe overseas? If it's not free anymore, I'm going to be pissed off. Have I had a look at the Sony Ericsson X10 Mini Pro? No, I haven't. Comes with a keyboard. I don't want a keyboard. I want a touch screen. No, it's not a Shield. It's not an Arduino Shield. Can I give us a hint on the Arduino project? Yeah, it involves an FPGA. There you go. Do you have the clock you mentioned in the forum handy? Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Somebody wants me to take something apart, and sorry, I just if you can stop the questions, and I'll just finish the questions, and I'll get to the clock. I'll open up my old clock project. Thanks for the efforts in the great blog. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for watching. How is it to have Santa in the summer? Yeah, I love Santa in the summer. Best time of the year. Well, winter time and all that snow crap. God, who wants to be in the snow? Freezing your ass off. Do I know if they shipped the boards for the contest? Yes. Yes, a lot of people on the forum have received their boards, but apparently they're backlogged and all sorts of things. Do you ever use already built modules in your projects? Or is everything designed from scratch? Yes, I occasionally use pre-built modules for fast tracking. There we go. For agile development. If you've got to get that project done quick, if you need a DC to DC converter, and cost as no object, just whack in a DC to DC converter module. Much better than actually designing from scratch. When will the Australian electronics documentary be published? I don't know. Cole just keeps interviewing people. It's massive. This doco is so freaking massive. It's going to have to come on a dozen DVDs. He just keeps flying around the country. He's just interviewed like 5 people in Sydney again last week, and it just keeps going and going. He just keeps finding more people to interview. It's crazy. So he keeps saying a month or 2, but there's a new trailer coming out soon, hopefully. Come on, Kyle. Get with the program. I know he watches the blog. At least give us something. We need something. End of questions. Right. All right. Yeah, clock. I mentioned this on the forum. This is a project I did when I was I don't know, I was only a kid. And it's an LED clock. And I don't know, I was probably 12 or something at the time I did this. I can't really remember, and I built it using all parts I had in my junk box. So let's plug it in. Hopefully it still works. I haven't played with this for years, so let's try it. God help me, will it blow up? No, it works. There we go. Hey, check it out. There you go. And well, it's not that exciting, you know. It's got an AM PM indicator here. It's got hours, minutes, seconds, and tenths of seconds, which I think is really cool. I loved watching the tenths of seconds, and I've got buttons on the. There's just 2 buttons on the back here. It's fused, 2 buttons on the back, and I can actually set it just by speeding up either the seconds like that, or the tens of minutes. There you go. So you do like a fast set like that, or you do a slow set. And the neat thing about this, or both at once, if you actually hold, there's a neat feature. If you actually hold the button halfway like that, it actually disconnects the input. And because it's all CMOS, 4000 series CMOS circuitry, it just picks up the 50 hertz hum and has an extra speed. So here's the seconds, right? Here's the normal seconds, like that. And now if, normal seconds, there we go. Now if I hold that button halfway, there we go, it goes super quick. So because it's picking up the 50 hertz hum on, it's picking up the 50 hertz hum on the input because it's not tied. And that's just a little extra feature in there, because normally you might say tie the input pin high so that the switch doesn't, the input to the CMOS circuitry doesn't pick up noise. But that's a little feature, and its mains are clocked, so it gets its reference from the mains, from the 50 hertz mains. And let's open it up. Anyone want to see it open? Sorry, I haven't been reading the comments. Yay, everyone wants to see it open. Oh shit, this could be embarrassing. I built this when I was 12, okay? And it's all CMOS 4000, from memory, it's all 4000 series CMOS. And, okay, let's... Actually, I'll just move the computer across here. I hope it doesn't... Hang on. I'll just move the camera. Okay, can everyone see that? All right. Let's open it up. If I can find a screwdriver that fits. All right. Ta-da, here we go. Hang on. And ta-da, there it is. Check it out. Hopefully I can get this on the main camera as well as the blog camera. So there's the main camera. The main camera and the blog camera aren't exactly playing ball at the moment. It's a mess, isn't it? It's an absolute stinking mess. And it's hilarious. But you can actually see it's built using good old Vera board. There's a strip board in there, and it uses pin headers on the end. These little green, there's green jumper wires all through there, and it's all discrete 4000 series CMOS. And there's the back of the. So there it is. It's just got a bent metal heatsink there for the voltage regulator, an old Ferguson transformer, which is an old Australian company, and so there you go. That's inside the clock project. I'll probably put some photos up. I think I'll take some real photos of that, and this is real tricky moving the tripod and camera around. Are we back? Are we back from the future? Woo! No, not even close. There we go. All right. So there you go. That's my clock project. Yeah, totally point to point. Well, it actually uses. Yeah, there we go. I should have done that before. It's much better. I can see it on the screen. And ta-da! Yeah, it's a total mess. It's a total mess, but it works, and it's worked for. I had this clock working for 15, 20 years. How old was I? 12, 24, 34, yeah, at least 20 years. I had this thing actually going for, and it works. It still works, and it's got. I'll have to put up the schematic. I've got the original schematic somewhere. Actually, not the original. I redrew the schematic back about 15 years ago or something. Because somebody wanted it. Somebody wanted the schematic, and I lost the original schematic, so I redrew it back in 1995 or something. So yeah, it's 4026s. I think was the main from memory. Is it 4026? And there's a 4518. There's a 4511. There's a 4013. There's a 4040. These are all 4000 series CMOS. Yeah, 4026. 4026 was the main counter chip in there. But there you go. That's my I built when I was 12, and it had all junk box parts. I was so proud I didn't have to go out and buy anything. I had everything in my junk box, and it all worked. So hopefully I haven't busted it. Ta-da! There we go. And I just think it's really cool. I loved having the tens of seconds here, just ticking over. It'd constantly fascinate me, and I'd watch it and I'd waste half my life just watching my clock. Anyway, I thought it was really cool. So there you go. There's some real old-fashioned hobby engineering from the early 80s. Yep, I love it. 4000 series CMOS is great. Woo! What's the clock source? As I said, the clock source, it uses the mains. It uses the 50 hertz from the mains, and it divides that down. It input filters it. There's a small filter on the input. It divides it down, converts it to a square wave, and that's the clock source. And it's very accurate. The 50 hertz mains here in Australia, and I'm sure in other countries, is quite accurate over the long term. Over the short term, it drifts a bit, but over the long term, it's the most accurate clock I've ever had. It's really good. So, yeah, I'm afraid of high voltages. Yeah, anything over 12 volts DC scares the shit out of me. Yeah. As I said, it keeps the time extremely well. You want to build the next project with 4000. I've used a couple of 4000 series stuff in recent designs at work. It's not, yeah, 4000 is still valid because they're ridiculously low power, almost zero power if you're not switching them. They're great. Is there wiring on the other side? I don't think so. No, I think all the wiring's on top. I'd have to take it right apart anyway. And yeah, like nowadays you do that using a PIC, right? You do it using a PIC or an Atmel microcontroller or something, right? But back then, no, you just did all 4000 series. What am I working on at the moment? At work? Yes, it's confidential. Sorry, can't tell you. Whew, drink time. Your brain still works on 7400, 4000 series logic. Yeah, so does mine. Anytime I want to design something, my first thought will gravitate towards, 74 series parts or something. What's the best part in all of Back to the Future? Oh, man, don't ask me that. Oh, God, I don't know. It's all awesome. No one part's better than the rest. I can recite Back to the Future, word for word. About the audio question, tips on interfacing ADCs with a DSP and a PC. How long's a piece of string? Make sure you get your grounds done right. Do your star ground. Make sure you follow the app notes for grounding. Otherwise, you can ruin the performance of your ADC without even trying. It's so easy to ruin the. You buy this good ADC and you just ruin the performance because you didn't get the grounds right or something like that. So yeah, make sure you do that. If it's really high-end ADC stuff, make sure you do local filtering of your power supply because the power supply rejection ratio of the ADC may not be high enough. So check your PSRR as it's called, and if it's going to be an issue, especially with 16-bit and above converters and stuff like that, you might want to do just a local voltage regulator right at the chip, dedicated just to your ADC. So, what is a DeLorean USB drive? I've got to get one. Is it shaped like a DeLorean? Do I own any remote control stuff? No, I'd love to. Once again, it's a time thing. Too many hobbies, too many different things going on. I had remote control stuff when I was a kid. I had the Hornet. I had the remote control, what is it, Tamiya? I can't remember how you pronounce it. The Hornet was huge back when I was a kid. So I had one of those Hornet RC cars, which got really fast. And I did some mods to that and it went really quick. I'm sure they're much faster. Ooh, DeLorean USB flash drive. I won't do it now. It might, if I jump to it, it might drop my connection or something. Don't want that to happen. Oh, good question. How much higher math, such as calculus, do I actually use on the job? None. I haven't used an integral, for example. I always say this, haven't used an integral since I studied it. I've never used an integral. You spend years learning bloody integrals, triple integrals, and calculus and all that sort of shit, and you don't use it. You don't use it in most everyday practical engineering. There will be exceptions to that, of course. There's always exceptions. But no, all that math you study at uni is generally wasted. Completely and utterly wasted. The concepts are important. You use, like you might have to make you have to understand integrals and what they do to make an integrator and stuff like that. But yeah, the actual calculus, nope. It usually doesn't get much above Ohm's law. It really doesn't. Or some formula in an app note or something like that. But yeah, some jobs are completely different. I know people that do, calculus every day as part of their, obscure engineering job. But generally, no. 95% plus of engineering jobs out there wouldn't use any of the math you were taught in school. Yeah, I'd like to get a quadcopter too. That's what you like to hear. Yeah, about the math. Absolutely. So, which is a shame, because you they put so much emphasis on it, and then you just don't use it. Only time you use it is some obscure job somewhere, or if you go back to uni to teach it. Stupid. Always hated it. Do I ever find something cool and experiment with it just for fun? Yeah, I often do that, but once again, it's a time issue. I've barely got enough time to do the blog, let alone my own projects, let alone just hacking around on cool stuff. God, can't wait for the day I do this full time. Then I can just hack around on stuff all day and then just blog about it. That'd be awesome. Oh, man. Anyway, yeah, I suspect that's never going to get any better. No Laplace transforms or Fourier series. No, well, I've done Fourier stuff, but once again, you use libraries that already take care of it for you. So it's not like you're solving, Fourier Laplace transforms on paper. No. Once again, you can. I know people who do it as part of their job for, they're really into heavy DSP shit or something like that, and they need to know all the fundamentals and all that sort of stuff, but nah, as a general rule, you're not going to use it. Have I got any project ideas to help learn more theory, avoiding microcontrollers? Wow, that's a good question. What type of theory though? If you're into analog stuff, audio amplifiers are really good. Amplifiers, RF amplifiers, do FM bugs. Look at FM transmitters. These little bug transmitters. I worked on those as a kid. You learn a lot because they all use discrete transistor design and stuff like that. So yeah, you learn a lot that way. Yeah, all your analog building blocks, audio amps are great for learning that sort of stuff. Have I ever worked on image processing? No, not really. I've done some hardware which does it, but not on the higher software side and actually processing the images, no. What does the wife think about all trips abroad being tied to conventions? Well, she liked the last one because she went. She turned it into a holiday. She refused to let me go on my own. So, I don't know. I've only had one so far. I've only had one trip. Hopefully there's another one. But, I don't know. It's... A DTL clock. Why would you... diode transistor logic. Glutton for punishment. Would I do a blog on my early projects? Yeah, a lot of them have been tossed out, lost in the annals of time, or I've lost the schematics, or there's just a board left. I've salvaged them for parts, and there's just a mess of a board left. They're not that exciting. I'm sorry, they're... I built lots of test gear back then and stuff like that, but yeah. How was the Big Bang Theory? Big Bang Theory was awesome. I went to the taping of Big Bang Theory when I was in LA. I'm sure if you haven't watched The Big Bang Theory, do yourself a favor, get into it. Watch The Big Bang Theory. You'll love it. The taping was awesome. And it's a huge set. It's the only permanent set they've got is Sheldon's apartment. That's the only permanent one. The others actually are in big modules, and they actually drag them in and out as they're needed. So they drag in the bar, the Penny's apartment. The stairwell is fixed as well. And they'll drag in, the uni canteen, and things like that. And it's awesome. And I met Raj. He's a really nice guy. I spoke to him for a little bit, and yeah, he's awesome after the show. Sheldon just buggers off after the show, after he comes out and says hi, thanks for turning up, and he just buggers because everyone mobs him. So he's got to he usually just goes. Sometimes he sticks around, but he didn't this time. And Raj is a really nice guy. Interestingly, on set, on the Big Bang set, Sheldon he just walks around reading his lines, trying to memorize them. He looks at all the little stuff on the sets. The sets are incredibly detailed, like stuff they'll put on the wall in the corridors and stuff like that. He'll be going reading those and having a laugh. There's probably in jokes that you can't see on those on the notice boards in the hallway and stuff like that. So he just wanders around, learns his lines. And he's really a stickler for his lines. But he looks pretty cool. Howard just sits there talking with Raj between takes. It's really, and they just sit there chatting. They're cool as they're very cool customers. And what's his name? Mental block. Brain fart. Who's Sheldon's flatmate? Can't believe I can't remember it. I got a mental block. Leonard, thank you. I was thinking of something else. I had a mental block. Leonard. Leonard's a nervous wreck on set. He as soon as the take's finished, he gets up, paces around, and goes like this, and he's a nervous wreck. Well, he appears to be. That's what he appears to be anyway during takes. And so they're them. Penny, they had to wheel her out in a wheelchair because she still had a broken leg from the horse riding accident. And it was great. I loved it. And if you don't know, it's all shot. Each scene is shot in one take. They have 4 or 5 different cameras in all different angles. And so when you see those quick cuts between camera angles, it's still shot as one big continuous thing. So they'll have to remember, 5-minute scene worth of lines and stuff like that. And they only do 2 takes maximum. They do a first one, which they usually get it. The best one's usually the first take, and then they do a second take, and they do a second take just in case there's something wrong with the first one. And yeah, but I don't think they ever did any more than 2 takes. So it's very cool to go to the taping of Big Bang. If you get tickets, I highly recommend it. But you're a long way from them. You are a fair way, and they don't notice the audience during the thing. They'll come up and say hi afterwards, but that's about it. Because otherwise, there's 100 people on set, and it's pretty busy. Whew. Anyway, there you go. Big Bang Theory. Very cool. The Microchip Masters Convention. Did they invite you? No? Haven't been invited to the Microchip Masters Convention? No. If they want to fly me over there, sure. I assume it's... Has it been showing in Oz yet? What, the Big Bang, the one I went to, the taping? Yes, it has. It's been shown. The boyfriend... what was the name? I can't even remember the name of it now. But yes, it's been shown here. What kind of test gear? did I do as a kid? Generally based on projects based in Electronics Australia magazine and stuff like that. So, and I had a lot of my projects were test equipment in the magazine. So, you know, I've got my 20 megahertz function generator project, which was a project in Electronics Australia magazine. Yeah, I got my, oh God, I can't even get them. That was my first digital storage oscilloscope. There you go. That, believe it or not, is a digital storage oscilloscope. It's very novel. It doesn't use a microcontroller, and that was ridiculously popular. That's the original prototype that appeared in the magazine. So it's all, it's got all dust on it. It's faded now, but yeah, that uses all discrete circuitry. No microcontroller in there at all, based on parallel port. And there's a Mark II version, there's the Mark III version, there's a 40 megahertz logic analyzer I did up there. Maybe I can get those out one day, but you can go to my website. The info's all on there. There were some other projects that weren't published as well. Yeah, the schematics are all on my website. Go for it. People want me to look up that DeLorean. Okay, I'll click on the link. Where is it? DeLorean. Hopefully this doesn't cut the connection. No, I think we're fine. How is that a USB drive? What is it? Looks freaking awesome. $500 gigabytes? Should be 1.21 gigabytes. How is it a... That is freaking awesome, but how is it? It's a 1/18 scale model. Right, so it's just a solid state hard drive, basically, and I assume there's a USB port somewhere. You plug a USB port into the flux, into the arse end of it, do you? Oh, that's pretty awesome. I thought it'd be some like a keyring thing or something, like a little tiny keyring USB flash drive. I didn't know it was big solid state. That'd be about that big, right? 18th scale model. It's quite large. Let's get back to the chat window. How many viewers we got now? 71. Awesome. What's the time, by the way? Oh, 2 minutes past 9. I can still go for a bit. I've been recording for an hour and 23 minutes. No way. That's what's up on my clock. Crikey. 1.21 gigabytes. Yep. J, spelt with a J, because in the it's always spelt with a J. Incorrectly, but that's how it's spelt in the BTTF universe. What is my website URL? Alternatezone.com. Do I know Embed? No, I don't know Embed. I missed the first 10 minutes of the show. Did I take apart those Keithley sauces? Oh, right. No, sorry. No, you didn't miss anything in the first 10 minutes. It was just mucking around. Whatever happened to the documentary I was starring in? I've already mentioned that. Have I checked out the actual script spelling for gigawatt? Yes, I have. It is. I thought it was J. I thought it was gigawatt. Is that correct? I thought it was actually spelt with a J. No, or it might be the other way around. It was spelt with a G in the script, but when they had some expert on hand when they were filming it, and he said, no, it's Jigger. It's pronounced J instead of Giga. So I... yeah, gigawatt. Yeah, gigawatt. Yeah, they goofed up, and apparently they had some expert advise them on that it is gigawatt or gigawatt with a J instead of a G. And like, I don't know. He claims that's what it was, so they went with it. They didn't know any better, and they, yeah, awesome expert, yeah. So so now it's forever spelt with a J because of the movie. Have I prototyped PCBs using a CNC miller? No, I haven't. No company I've ever worked at has ever bought a CNC milling machine. I'd love it if they did. It'd be great fun. Yeah, I don't think the USB drive needs that amount of power. So, anyway, have we got any more questions? I think the main camera up there is almost hour and 26 minutes. There you go. Hour and a half, so I should probably call it quits soon. Where should the A ground and D ground for an ADC be connected together? Right at the chip, usually. They'll tell you that in the app note. Make sure you read, in the data sheet, usually. Make sure you read the layout section of the data sheet, because the layout section tells you all about it. So make sure you do that. Mega means nigger? No, I don't think so. There isn't a layout section. Oh, in the data sheet. Well, then they'll have an app note. Look for app notes. Or use a real ADC with a real data sheet that gives you layout advice. Any decent ADCs, at least they'll tell you in text if they don't give examples. Use a real part. A real good data sheet for an ADC will give you layout advice. So, when will I do the next live show? I don't know. I'd like to have a regular schedule probably not every week, every second week, every fortnight would be good, I guess. Because it just turns into a Q&A session, and really, eventually going to run out of questions, I think. I don't know. What's the Artafruit like one? She's been doing it for a year or something, and it's just a questions and answers thing. I guess there's no end to the questions people can ask. Can I explain the difference between VCC, VEE and VDD, VSS, where it refers? There's a bit of history on that in the forum somewhere, I think. I'm sure it was on the forum. There's somebody discussed that somewhere, and there were some good links and history behind it. There's lots of murky history behind the terminology VCC and VDD and stuff like that. VCC is collector, and VDD is drain, and VSS and stuff like that. So, yeah, off the top of my head, if I try and do it, I'll get it wrong. So I don't think I should try. There's some cool history on the forum. So if somebody can search for that and put up a link. Questions? Yeah, the thing with Artafruit, they're live bloggers because they've got a shop, right? That's their business. Their business is selling kits and shit. So they've always got something new to show off. Oh, I've got a new packet of LEDs or something, Yeah, I just do a video blog, and I don't hack stuff every day, so I've got nothing new to show each week, unfortunately. So it just turns into a question. So if I did it weekly, people will probably get a bit bored with it, I think. So maybe every 2 weeks might be okay. Will I ever sell autographed PCBs? I don't know why anyone would want an autographed PCB. I don't understand it. I actually don't understand the whole autograph thing. I went to Big Bang, right? The taping of Big Bang, and you weren't allowed to take in your cameras or anything, right? And everyone's, after the show, they all rush up. Oh, can you sign this, And they don't even say hi to the people or shake their hand. All they want is the photograph autographed. It's stupid. What use is a freaking autograph photo? It's stupid. Go up, shake their hand, talk to them, say hi, how you doing? That's what I did. It's just, I don't, understand people getting people's autographs. Photos, I can understand. Oh, let's get a photo with someone. When I went to the conference the other month, people kept coming up to me and wanting a photo. Oh, can I get a photo with you and stuff? Yeah, no problems. Great. And no one's ever asked me for my autograph. I don't know if I'd give it. I just don't understand the autograph concept. Maybe I can take a photo with each microcurrent before I send it. It's just past 10 o'clock in the UK. It's 9 AM here in Sydney. It's a good way to learn how to fake someone's signature. Yeah, that's why if you sign stuff, you always use a different signature, apparently. That's the first thing you learn if you're a celebrity, is you have a celebrity signature, not your regular signature. Have I ever been to the UK? Yes, I have been to the UK twice. I like the UK. I love the UK. It's great. Haven't seen all of it though. I'd love to go just there to do a driving holiday, go up to Scotland and go to Wales, and so I've only been to the basically pretty much from the centre downwards, so from York. I've been a bit more north of York, but I didn't get up to Hadrian's Wall, which is up the top end. I wanted to go up and see that and end up there, but no, I just, as usual, don't have enough time. I'd love to... Were my parents electronics engineers? There's a good question. You didn't put a Q in front of it, but I saw that. Thanks, Copper Pete. No, they weren't. My parents had nothing to do with engineering at all, or any type of professional job. My dad was a truck driver, and my mum was a cleaner. So, very poor family. And then my dad couldn't work since I was a very young kid, and due to an accident. And yeah, no, but I love taking stuff apart, so they bought me a 50-in-1 kit, the electronics 50-in-1 kit, for my, 6th birthday or something, or Christmas or something like that, and to stop me taking stuff apart. And yeah, I just went on from there. So no, my parents had nothing to do with, very little to do with, they kind of, I guess you could say, they started me off in the hobby. My thoughts on body scanner technology, it's cool technology, right? All this backscatter, X-ray, well, it's not X-ray, I haven't looked into the details, but it's very cool technology, this backscatter stuff. But no, should it be used at the airports? Friggin' no! It's bullshit. I hate it. Anyway, does that answer your question? I just did a whole rant on body scanners. What else countries did I go in Europe? In Europe, I've been to England. I've been to France. I've been to Germany. I've been to Switzerland, just. I've been to Italy. And that's it, I think. Yeah. So France, Germany, England, Italy. That's it. I think. Yep. Oh, my parents didn't care about me working on mains-powered stuff. They just thought I was going to kill myself anyway, and, I don't think they knew the dangers. They didn't understand, so, yep. So, yeah, I don't think they understand the dangers of what I was working on sometimes. Did I hear about the iPad clone, the iPad? No. I heard about an iPad clone when it first came out. That was like 6 months ago now. That was ages ago. The China bought out a pad about 2 months after 2 months after Apple. So that's probably shit, I'm sure. Built down to a price. So when am I doing Sweden? I'd love to go to the Nordic countries. I would love to. I probably should have when I was in Germany. I should have taken more time off and just went to the Nordic countries. That would have been great. Yeah, the Pommy bastards are funny. Yeah, the test matches on at the moment. The Ashes. It's a big thing. Australia against England. Dave, what do you think about mostly Chinese and Indian students getting STEM degrees these days? What's STEM? What is STEM? S-T-E-M. I've never heard of that. That was Topher Theme asked that question. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Ah, right, another acronym. Another four-letter acronym. Well, they do take a lot of spots because lots of overseas students come to Australia. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but a lot of them come here and they're full fee paying students, and the universities love them because they pay these massive fees. And there's been lots of talk about how they're very lenient with them because they're full fee paying, so they almost can't speak English, some of them, and yet they'll somehow pass the course and get their degree. And yeah, they're very lenient with them. It's an issue, I think. But yeah, I don't like them taking local places. If there's a place available, if there's a spare place, by all means, come on in and study. Great to have you, but no, not when it steals away places from local students. Why can't you do it in your own country? You know, have I been to Israel? No, I haven't. I have no interest in going to Israel. Although I'd love to see their security screening procedures. That'd be good. What kind of tweezers do I recommend? How many do you really need and the recommendations for selecting them? Tweezers. I've got an entire tweezer kit, but it's at work at the moment. So I'm going to have to stick with the ones I've got. That's all I've got here at the moment. Basically, my favourite is just the straight, sharp one like that. Really, you know, and they've got to be anti-magnetic. Make sure you get an anti-magnetic one as well. And I've got another one which is sort of a thicker edge like that. There you go. Sort of a thick edge, that's handy sometimes. And I also don't mind the ones with the curved end on them. They can sometimes be handy to get into locations and stuff like that, but just generally an anti-magnetic, flat, very sharp, real super sharp, yeah, real super sharp tip like that. It's not going to focus, but yeah, crazily sharp tip. And yeah, that's all you need. Sometimes, actually, it's good to have a narrow one like that and a wide one as well, because if you hold ICs, if you do surface mount SOs or something like that, you're placing them, if you have to force them apart, like that to hold onto your chip, then it's a bit annoying. So, but generally you can get away with just one, a good pair of tweezers like that for SMD work. Absolutely essential. Don't try and do SMD without, you know, a really good pair of straight, sharp, fine-pointed tweezers. And these will easily do 04, 02 and stuff like that. So with a really fine point, no problems at all. If I ever get to the USA in Ohio, look me up and I'll show you the area and buy you a beer or something. Excellent, thanks. 240 volt main circuits on strip board, safe or insane? It can be. Just make sure you strip away all the copper between the mains parts and leave 15 mil maybe between between main stuff, and yeah, make sure it's not contaminated. And you can do 240 volt mains on strip board. I wouldn't recommend it as a long-term solution, but just for a simple prototype or something, if you need to, it can be done. But make sure you strip away all the copper within 15 millimeters of it or something. So really go to town and dig it out. And it's not as good as FR4. The strip board material's not as good a quality as regular FR4. So, but you can still do 240 on strip board if you're careful. You're a PhD student, and I'm one of 3 American PhD students out of 50. Really? Wow. 3 out of 50? 6%. That's insane. Unbelievable. Oh, pardon me. Too much dust out here, I think. That's 6% of students, PhD students at what uni is that? I've seen really bad students get good degrees. Yeah, so have I. In practice, probably the majority of them. Sorry. Thanks for the show. No, to go to Oakland University. Okay. Oakland University in Michigan. Really, there's so many overseas students wanting to go to Oakland. I can understand them wanting to go to the, in the bigger states, but Michigan? Not that there's anything wrong with Michigan, I'm sure, but, it's not your traditional destination, is it? For overseas students? Maybe they offer a good deal. Maybe it's much cheaper than, I don't know. Hang on, I'm trying to scroll through the list of stuff here. Would it be a good idea to get a master's in EE, or is bachelor's enough? How long's a piece of string? I don't know. Depends what you want to do in life. I mean, if you've got the time and the enthusiasm and the money to do the master's, by all means go and get it, because you can always, sometimes it can be a hindrance actually having higher degrees. Some people won't hire you if you've got higher degrees, because the higher you go up, the less practical you become, as a general industry thing. So, but you can always leave it off your resume, so if you need to. So there's no harm in getting it, really, I'd say, if you got the time and effort. But yeah, good luck. Tweezers, any brand you can recommend? Oh, mine are C&K. Mine are C&K. These ones, I've got other ones that work. No, actually, one of them's C&K, one's EEVblog or something. I don't know where I got that one from, actually. But no, offhand, sorry, no tweezer brands. Just don't buy them for $1 on eBay or something like that. Buy a good, you can usually tell by price. You pay $10, $15 or $20 for a pair of tweezers, you're usually going to get a good one. So I really would like to see more blogs on professional electronic development, like the PCB episode, just to see how much hobby electronics differs from commercial development. Okay, I'll take it under advisement. Thanks. Yeah, I know, it's hard to please everyone. Some people want basic, real dumbass beginner stuff. Others want more, want me to do freaking DSP tutorials or, something advanced, really advanced stuff. And I can't please everyone. So I try and keep a mix, really. But yeah, I'll try and do more sort of industry stuff, definitely. Can't remember if I asked before, but why do 0603s always fall on their backside when you drop them? Would it help to butter the other side? Yes, it helps to butter the other side. Murphy's ensures that all resistors fall, SMD resistors fall face down. I know one guy who solders all of his resistors in whatever face, they fall on the bench. So if they fall upside down, he solders them in upside down. So he's got half of them with the black with the writing on the top and the other half with just the white underside. So he just doesn't bother flipping them over. I'm a bit anal. I like to flip them all over and then put them properly and then align them all. Ugh. It takes longer. Anyway. Will you ever do a soldering iron shootout? I've got a Heiko FX888 here. It probably won't be a shootout. I don't think so. They're not that exciting, really. Soldering irons. I don't even know how I'm going to review a soldering iron. What do you take it apart and you look at the internals. Yeah, it heats up and yeah, it solders and yeah, you can get X tips and I don't know. How easy is it to break an oscilloscope by probing the wrong things? Very easily, because very easy to damage things, because a lot of beginners forget that an oscilloscope, the actual B and C connector on the oscilloscope is grounded. It's mains earth grounded. So, which means that this is mains earth grounded and so is your ground clip lead. So if you're powering anything that is referenced to mains earth and you plug this clip anywhere but a mains earth part of your circuit, bang, you can blow the shit out of this earth lead. And yeah, it's just, it's happened. It usually happens to you once. And in your career, when you're learning, when you're a hobbyist, you'll usually blow up one oscilloscope probe and then you'll learn that they're earthed. And yeah, so you won't get that if you go always working on battery powered equipment and stuff like that. You won't get that problem, but generally, no, that's the only way you can blow something up. Apart from that, they're high impedance inputs unless you've got a 50 ohm input on your scope. Only the higher end scopes have a 50 ohm input, so you can damage those with over voltage. But generally, no, they're rated to like 300 volts or something. So it's difficult to damage an oscilloscope as long as you get the grounds correct. Oh. Build quality, yeah, with the soldering iron shootout. Build quality, tip quality, heating time, maybe even temperature accuracy, yeah. Boot up time and stuff like that. Thermal recovery, I don't know, how do you measure thermal? I'd have to get a temperature probe onto it and I don't know. Have I tried cold heat battery operated soldering irons? No, wouldn't touch the battery operated soldering irons. They're usually butcher's tools. I don't like them. Do I use the Kindle a lot or is it lying with other gadgets in the box? The wife owns the Kindle now. She reads it every night. I don't use it. The wife has taken it. She loves the Kindle. Every night she reads. What is my favourite accumulator type? What sort of question is that? I don't have a favourite accumulator. Have I tried pressing the Kindle's reset button? No, I haven't. I've had to cycle it a couple of times. You hold the power button over for 10 seconds and it will do a hard reset. I've had to do that once or twice. It's actually locked up, so oh, anyway, any more quick questions? Very quick. I got to go. It's like I've been on here for 1 hour and 48 minutes. Oh, crazy. And I haven't done anything. All I've done is asking questions. Anyway, no more quick questions? Have to go. It's 1:30 a.m. somewhere. No worries. Record broken. Is this my longest live show? It might be. I was originally only intending to do an hour, but yeah, the questions just keep going and going and I rant on and on. And it feels like I don't do anything on these live shows. I don't. Oh man, all I do is answer questions. That's what I thought you were referring to, the 6502, the actual register accumulator in a microprocessor. I'm not that fussy with my microprocessor architectures. I'm not that emotionally attached to any of them. Have I used my thermal chamber? Yes, I have. Yeah, it's quite nice. I like it. My thermal chamber blog I did. It's a neat little thermal chamber. If you don't have one for 100 and something bucks, it's a really good bargain. What is my favourite resistor? Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, guys, I better get going. It's like, yeah, it's 9:30. So, thanks everyone for joining me. How many we got? 62. It's dropped off a bit. I think it got too late. I wasn't doing much. Maybe I should do a song and dance. Woohoo! Will people pay $20? A good price for a USB dev board? Yeah, 20 bucks is cheap for a USB dev board. Anyway, thanks guys. Good show. Hopefully. And I've recorded it, so on the main camera, but I was always looking at the webcam for some reason. There's the main glass there for the main camera, but I was always looking at the webcam. Strange. I think you can notice the difference if my eyes dart between the two, even though they're quite close. Yeah, thanks guys. I better get going. Jeez, I gotta go to work. Yep, it's 9:30 here. 121 viewers at the peak. Awesome. Not bad for the shitty time zone. Across the world, that's great. Thanks guys. Catch you later. I'm going to stop recording. Dun, dun, dun. What's this, the 7th show? Ustream recording saved. I look dependable or a bit shifty if I'm moving my eyebrows, moving my eyes between cameras. Yeah, I'm a shifty looking character. Alright, thanks guys, signing off. See ya.